Hello, this is Stephen Dean speaking again, and along with my introductory video to A Course in Miracles, I'd like to make this short video to offer some advice and helpful tips on the application and the understanding of the student workbook, the 365 lessons. As I said before, I found it advisable. Well, really, it's as it says within the book, each person will take on the learnings in the way that suits him best. Some start with the teacher's manual, some go straight to the student's workbook and start doing the lessons, and some begin with a text. Well, for me, I began with a text. It took me 8 months to get through the text because it's written in such a way that you get to the bottom of the paragraph and you think, go back and start again. And I did that all the way through it until I was sure I'd understood every paragraph. It can be seen, also can be seen, it is written in a very convoluted and complex way, and there's a good reason for that. The reason being because I believe anyway is that for teachers, someone who really wants to know, you've really got to be determined to learn. What the book is actually teaching you is something very, very simple. But it knows if it told you the secret, so to speak, right at the very beginning, you would just dismiss it as that it couldn't possibly be. So these riddles are placed before you until you figure them out and get the answer yourself, until you think, that's what he's saying. Once you've figured it out for yourself, then you're going to stick with it because you now see the logic. Whereas the seemingly impossible truth placed before you straight away will be too seemingly impossible. Okay, and that's the beauty of A Course in Miracles. If you follow these lessons, you will get there. You will awaken. You will awaken. Anyway, when you first start doing them, like the first lesson, for example, asks you to apply just 2 minutes a day, 1 minute in the morning, 1 minute in the evening, and it continues like that for a while before it starts stepping up the ante. But the reason why it does that is because it knows how difficult it is for your average human being to remember to do a certain thing regularly every day, especially if it's something totally unfamiliar to them. See, so it gradually builds it up. But as it goes on, it's asking you to do things 8 times a day, then you might start thinking it's a bit, you might find yourself forgetting to do it. But it advises on that as well. Though I found, what I did eventually, I got myself a necklace, like a stone hanging around my neck. And whenever I sort of fiddle with it, I remember that I should be doing the lessons. I learnt to associate the stone with doing the lessons. And so I reminded myself that way. Anything you can think of that will help you to remember. It gradually leads up to having to remember lots of things to do, but only slowly. But I'm just advising you beforehand. Before you start the lessons, it might be a good idea to turn to lesson 134, Let Me Perceive Forgiveness as It Is, because that one lesson is so profound and so relatively straightforward in its explanation. It will give you a good idea of what to expect within the course itself in just one lesson, in just a few pages. And that is lesson 134. I'll just read you a paragraph from it to give you an idea. There is a very simple way to find the door to true forgiveness and perceive it wide open in welcome. When you feel that you are tempted to accuse someone of sin in any form, do not allow your mind to dwell on what you think he did, for that is self-deception. Ask yourself, would I accuse myself of doing this? Now, when I started doing the lessons, I didn't quite understand what he meant by that, because I thought about some of the things I've done in my life, and I thought, yes, I would accuse myself of doing that. But it wasn't until a couple of years later when I understood the lessons proper that I understood what he meant by that. And to find out what he meant by that, you do the lessons yourself, because if I tell you now, you might not get it as clearly as I understand it. You have to work towards it, and that's the beauty of it. Okay. So all I can say for now is begin. It's the best word in the world. Blessings. I'll see you again. Cheers.